Hi guys, I'm going to review Swangile and the Laminis episode 49 to 51. Well, it has been a sad week in general. Nothing really exciting, but a lot of things happened. So let's get into it. I'll start Ekopo. Velepi and Zex are continuing to have a fallout that is getting worse and worse and worse. Velepi went out on a girls' night out or whatever she was doing out all night and just neglected her son. But anyway, the big reveal is that Zakes received his DNA results, and Umanqoba is not his son, and that is a big disappointment of this week. But anyway, we'll see what happens after that, whether they're going to continue together or this whole marriage Lobola thing is going to fall off. So we go back to the mention and we're going to start with the workers union. Guys, this is typical of how you negotiate with your employee. So as the workers were leaving, Upeteni calls them for a sit down to talk to them, and there was two conditions that they were willing to accept for them to be rehired. That Spongile gets rehired together with them, and that they want a 10% increase. And Upeteni had no choice; she had to agree to those terms. Meanwhile, Utulisile has this obsession about exercise, smoothies, teas, and whatever. But I'm telling you, there's a scam loading in here because she has sold some tea for 300 rand to her fellow helpers. I'm not sure about this one. I think this is definitely a scam loading. But anyway, let's move back into the Lamini family. And then in the Lamini family, they decide the Lamini, Mr. and Mrs. and Lamini Lobomdala, they decide to have a sit down with Wenzo one more time. And this time they're really, really pushing him to do exactly what they want him to do. So while they were having the meeting, Ubabomdala suggests that, you know what, why don't Wenzo just take his tembo, and then he doesn't have to choose between Unomalanga and Swangile, and everybody will be happy. Wenzo gets to be with somebody that he loves, and the Laminis get to have the tender or whatever deal they have with the Sokabases. But that is Babam Dala's resolution, but which was not really well received, and he was dismissed from the meeting. Mr. and Mrs. Lamini really pushed Wenzo to the corner, and they made this is actually manipulation. That's what they did. They manipulated him to uh, to agree to marry Nomalanga, even if he doesn't love her. So obviously, one thing led to another. Usbangile was called into the meeting later on, and Gwenzo had to tell her that, you know what, we can no longer continue with that thing. Pretty much dumped her in front of her family, and that was a sad thing. And yes, Swangile has a heartbreak. My opinion is that we need to close this chapter. Kaswangile Wenzo, just close it. I mean, Gwenzo is not ready. So, out of the three options that he had, he has chosen to take one for the family. That's his choice so far. Even if he doesn't love Unomalanga. And then later on, he wants to make it up with Unomalanga, trying to make her feel good. Actually, Wenzo is telling Unomalanga everything that he wants to hear. I'm not even sure that he actually booked that place. But anyway, moving on. Gina. Gina is busy in the house, guys. Mam Gopozi, akula ndaba angayazi. Tina knows everything. For some reason, one way or the other, things just fall on her ears. Some of the things she's not really looking for them, and they just fall into her ears, and they get her mind just going on and on. Oh my God! So Tina, what did she compose this week? Number one, she found out from Nolang without asking her that every time that Gwenzo works on a project, he always consults with Swangile. So all these new ideas, whatever, they are working together. That is something there. And that made Utrina now spiral again to now think, you know what? I better get on this bandwagon and make sure that Wenzo never hooks up with Swangile. So I don't know what shenanigans she's gonna pull to make sure that Wenzo uyapuma ku Swangile for good, because he knows that if that is how they've been working together, they are actually a power couple, and she cannot have that. And then number two, Utrina gets to find out another secret, a big secret revealed, that Udeliwe has a big debt that he has to pay Tweteni. And guess what? He has the reason why Spongile is working for the Laminis is so that she can pay uh, Deliwe's debt to Peten. So which means Uswangile doesn't get her full paycheck. So she is most probably getting a partial paycheck and she doesn't even know it. So, but anyway, what does Gina do? Gina goes and tells Spongile that secret. So I don't know how Spongile is going to process this whole thing. But this is the beginning of her maturity and being naive. So she can no longer continue to be naive for Swangile. She just needs to wake up. But well, this is pretty much everything that happened this week. Biggest disappointments for this week is Mangoba's DNA results. Oh, by the way, Utulisile had to fall out with the madam. So it was interesting. Utulisile uyavela. That was so hilarious. Anyway, that's the only thing that got us laughing this week. And Gwenzo dumping Swangile having a heartbreak. So pretty much that's all that happened this week. And please follow me. Please follow me.